Hey, welcome to the show. Tonight, or this morning, I have a very special episode. I'm just gonna take some time to, tell you guys a little bit about myself. And over the next few episodes of the JP special, I think I'm going to share a bit of my testimony. And hopefully somebody will like it. And either way, I just thought, why not? And my name's James. Some of you guys might know me as JP, JD. Some call me PJ. Others call me their princess. I don't know. Some know me as DJ Fusion here on the beatbox. And I just think, no matter who you are, you're a human being, and you should be respected and cared for and looked after, and in return do the same to others. And so, that being said, everybody is my friend. And there's nobody that I would say, is not my friend, because like I said, everyone deserves to be respected. So therefore, I just do my very best to just approach everyone as how I would want to be approached. And yeah, I think that's something I definitely got from my mother, for sure. My mother was a great woman. She is a great woman. She rose me my whole life, and she was a single mother when I was younger. My parents got divorced when I was pretty young. So for a majority of my life, I grew up with 3 other siblings, and my mom was awesome. She was there, for us through anything. And because of my mother, I truly believe I am who I am today, and I believe I'm full of love and compassion and grace for humanity. And growing up having a mother who had faith too, I believe that I strongly believe in faith and in the reality of a higher power. And some of you guys may think, well, how do you know that for sure? And honestly, maybe in another episode or later on, I could get into my personal beliefs with my faith. I don't say I have religion, but I strongly have faith. And I just believe when you open your eyes to the reality of love and love for each other, your life becomes fantastic, and your life becomes gloriously glorious. Every single day I wake up, every single day I look forward to the day. I just try to be as positive as I can in every single thing I do. And sometimes it's harder than others, but why be negative and dull, delusional, and just look like a grump? I just believe it's so much easier on yourself and on those around you just to love your life and love everything that happens to you in the best way you can. So yeah, on that note, I don't know. I grew up in the interior of British Columbia and beautiful Kamloops, BC, and I was a pretty just regular kid. went to school, played sports, had friends, so I had one brother that's younger than me, one brother that's older than me, and an older sister. And my 3 siblings are fantastic. They're great. My younger brother's a little turd at times, but I love him to death. And I'm sure if he ever listened to this, which he may if I tell him to, but no, he is a turd. But I love him because he's a turd, and I know I'm a turd, so we just go very, very well together at times, to say the least. And my sister, she's just beautiful. My sister can sing, and she can amaze you with her musical abilities and her voice, and she knows that. And I love playing music with my sister. That's definitely something that all of us growing up were blessed with. It's the gift of music. And even my younger brother can play a ton of instruments. He can play the guitar, the bass guitar. He beatboxes even. He's pretty cool. He knows how to play the sax and the flute. My sister, yeah, she can play the guitar and the bass, and she can even drum a little. She plays the clarinet, and I'm sure she plays a bunch of other things too. She's pretty cool. We all play things, and my oldest brother, he's fantastic. Although sometimes, he can be a turd too, but I love him to death. And I just think that all 4 of us are just a fantastic group that just thrives to be, just a loving family towards each other and those in our family and who we call family. And I just believe that family is like a flower, and if you allow it to, grow and bloom, and then you take care of that flower and you let it just grow into something that's just glorious and fantastic. It just spreads, and that flower will produce new life, and those branches off that flower will be like the branch of your family. And, you can let your rose just completely go, or you can be a champ and get her done and keep up the awesome, and just be like a loving group of people that you call family. And that's what I think is important, and that my mother definitely shared with us, is the importance of love for each other, and like love for just music and life and those around you, and the lesson, like those that are less fortunate than you, or even those that are more fortunate than you. Just love everyone. And I don't know, my mom's fantastic. My whole family's fantastic because of my mother. I mean, she's a champion, and her birthday's coming up here, and I believe I may be able to go up and see her for her birthday, which would be pretty fantastic, not gonna lie. If she listens to this, well, I should go. I should. One year I surprised her for her birthday, and she was so shocked. I showed up at her work, and they hid me in the office, and then they called her into the office, and she was like, kind of like, what's going on? And they're just like, oh, I don't remember exactly what they said. And then I just popped out of nowhere, and she was just like, her face was like, I don't know, so shocked that she was just processing everything, that I was in her workplace. I was in the office of her workplace. I was like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. And I just gave her a big hug, and she cried. And then I told her I would see her home, or I would see her at home when she got off. And and that was pretty fantastic. So yeah, I don't know, my family's fantastic, basically, is what I'm getting at. And if anyone's still listening, you're awesome, straight up. I think myself, people can listen to the radio for like freaking, I don't know, hours off end, all day. So people can listen to me for a little bit if they want. It's an option. You're in a free country to do, you're in a free world to do whatever you want. Minus borders. Borders are nothing. Okay? You know what? I don't care where you are. Love each other. Straight up. It's not hard. Just to smile. Just to be joyful. Just to realize that you're alive. So, be lively. Like, come on. It's not even like it's something that you gotta wrap around your head. It's just like, you're alive, be lively. Every day above ground is better than every day below ground? ? Yeah, I've recently realized how, some people in life need a smile. And I just believe, I want to do my best to just provide a smile to anyone that wants to smile with me. And, so, on that note, I truly believe that if you have love for yourself and you have love for those around you, your life will be just so enjoyable and so fantastic and glorious. It'll just, it'll be everything you want and more. And, I just love all and love each other and love yourself and be happy and know people love you in return for loving them and caring about them. I know so many people and they just love life and they love each other and they love me and I love them. And if you're listening, I love you. And some of you listening, I really love you because I know who you are. And, hell, I love everyone. You deserve to be loved. And that's how I try to live my life. I just believe that, to kind of get on a faith, topic here, if the best example, if you will, is to live your life like Jesus. He walked this earth with such humility and love in a time where, in a world that wasn't even nearly as, socially developed as ours is today. The people on the streets in cities today are nothing in comparison to, well, I can't say nothing, but they're the comparison, the poverty, the the living conditions, the everything in those times were worse and just awful. And Jesus walked around and loved everybody. It doesn't matter who you were. You could be the richest man or the poorest man. You could be the hungriest guy or the most well-fed. You could be, a widowed mother or, a divorcee. It doesn't matter. Like, you want to be loved? Come here and let me love you. And that's what I think was fantastic about Jesus, is like, he's like, dude, I love you. You want to live? Live a loving life. And your life will be well. And your life will be good. And that's a promise. It's contagious. A genuine smile and a genuine positive attitude. I can guarantee you people will notice that. Because I get told all the time about how just, hey, I needed that. Thank you. Like, just complete strangers that you just throw a positive gesture to when you can. To those in your life. They'll appreciate it. And to be honest, like, I think the most beneficial moment to my faith, I would have to say, was on my brother's birthday. And we were pretty young. I was maybe 13 or something. And he would have been he would have been a year younger than me. And we went skating at the end of our street and on an open water surface, but in the winter there's no current going through this area. But we decided to go skating on this place where we always go skating, and so basically we went skating and we had to clear some rocks off. And we all started clearing the rocks that people throw on the ice to make sure it's safe to walk on. And we usually skated on this area where it's kind of shallower and it's like a little clearer, but there was people skating there that were older than us at the time, and still would be actually, I guess, but it's not like they didn't age or anything. But anywho, we just started doing our thing and taking out the rocks off the ice, and you just kind of push them, and some of them are pretty big, and I grabbed this big one and I just started pushing it, and I was pushing it basically from around the middle, because there's an overpass that goes over the water and people throw big rocks off that. And as I was going, it just I guess hit a weak spot in the ice, and dude, it dragged me like a noodle under there. I don't know, I was just slurped under, and it was I know I kind of make it humorous now, but honestly, it wasn't funny at all. Straight up, I went right underneath a thick sheet of ice, and I went underneath this ice, and I was still holding on to this freaking rock, and I was dude, well, I don't know, I probably thought to myself I should let go, so I let go, and this water's deep, I couldn't even touch the ground, it's deep water, and the rock continued to go, and I kind of came underneath the ice, and my first reaction well, first of all, you're just looking at like green, murky water. Like my eyes are open. I can open my eyes underwater. I'm like a fish. It's pretty cool. But anyways, to stay on topic here, I can talk about being a fish another time. But anyways, I basically I just remember like circling around and trying to find like any sort of, just like such like, hey, there's a hole right here, sort of like just as like obvious as it could be. What do? You sort of, maybe some light or something. But like where I'm from in the interior, like some days in the winter, like it'll be so cloudy, like it'll just be overcast, but you can see the sun, like, through the clouds as just as a circle. And like they like on those days you can't even see your own shadow, really. Like there's not a lot of like actual light coming through, but it's so like I'm circling around and I can't see anything. I honestly nothing. And like at this point, like I did like 3-4 more circles or whatever, and I just like start to really freak out. And I thought maybe I was young and I honestly I didn't fully understand the physical mechanics and operation of the body. And what I mean by that is because of my next decision to basically like try and punch my way through this ice, this sheet of ice, this thick sheet of ice. Yeah, because I'm Superman now. I'm going to punch through this ice. I decided to punch through this ice. And because of that, like, I got to the point, because, like, I was determined to punch my way through this ice. I just, like, started hitting it, like, above my head, right? Because, like, my body is floating underneath this freaking sheet of ice. I can't touch the ground. My hands are, like, above me, and my head's right underneath this ice, and I'm just punching. Like, 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch, maybe you got, like, 4 or 5 punches in there. And I realized after, like, 3 or 4 or whatever, like, after that I couldn't make contact with the ice. And basically, like, what was happening is, like, my arm and my body was slowly, like numbing and turning off. And basically, like, I could not, like, punch. I couldn't move my arm, and I watched my arm droop, like, with no motor skill. I just watched my hands drop. But, like, I'm not sinking, I'm just floating there under the ice. And in that moment of, like, having no control over, like, your only survival skill of trying to punch through this ice, I started to cry. And honestly, this is where it doesn't get funny. And, like, I sometimes don't even really like talking about this, because, like, it wasn't a good time in my life. I think I was struggling a lot with a lot of things, and just, like, my own personal struggles and battles. And the reality of being a teen, it's not easy. But life's not easy, but you just got to do your best to have the best outlook and be an optimist and just stay positive. And while I'm under this ice, and like everything's just shutting off for me, I guess. I'm so just like scared and afraid that I seriously just thought, like, I'm gonna die right here. This is where I die. And when I realized that, I just, I decided to pray, and like my lungs were hurting, and my brain is just going nuts. My arms are just dangling there, and I just prayed, and I don't know what I said, but I'm sure it was just, saying like, God, if you're the God of love and peace, like, just be with me and be my shepherd and be my guide. And I was just bawling and I was praying and I blacked out. And I vividly remember everything going black and then opening my eyes, and the only difference in my body positioning was basically my upper body was, I was basically like before had my head up against the ice with my body and my feet underneath me like I was standing. But when I opened my eyes again, after I blacked out, my back was up against the ice, as if I was lying underneath it. My arms were underneath me and dangling, and I just kind of thought to myself, like, when I realized I'm still underneath water, I realized, like, I'm still here, and like, what the heck? And I had the strength to do a few, maneuvers, look around a little, circle around, just spin your body, essentially, do a circle. I didn't see anything, and I just thought, great, here I am again, like, in the exact same position I was in, like, nothing's changed. And for some reason I just thought, I'm going to pray. And when I was praying this time, I just had this verse run through my head. And basically I'll paint the scenario for you. Peter and Paul are out on the fishing boat, and they see Jesus walking on water. Okay? Now put this into context to my scenario. Okay? Jesus says to Peter, come to me and just step out in faith and walk to me. Peter steps out onto the water and starts walking to Jesus. When he loses his faith, he sunk. When he lost his faith, he sunk. And so as I'm praying, this scene is going through my head. And honestly, no one, that was a weird word, something like that, I don't know. None of you guys were there. That's what I was originally going to say, and I was mixing that up with one of my other thoughts. But anyways, no one was there. None of you guys were there. Not one of you guys. Not even my brothers and his friends were underneath there with me. It was me, my body, my prayer, and the voice of God. And this verse running through my head. And underneath that water, when I was praying, thinking about that verse, I had such a calm, comfortable reassurance, almost as if like a hand upon my shoulder. I felt as if there was someone there with me, and in such a relaxed, comfortable, friendly tone of voice, I heard, "James, everything will be alright. All you need to do is look behind you." And even like saying that, look behind you, that I will never forget, because I just thought to myself, like what a simple command, like, you know, what a simple thing to do. Like, and that wasn't at the time, this is now, like, this is today, and like after the fact, like, what a simple thing to do, look behind you. That was like Jesus saying to Peter, just step out onto the water with me, just come out. And I just thought to myself right then and there, I just thought, like, you know, like, I don't want to sink, I don't want to die, I don't want to sink. And I just looked behind me, and, you know, I saw this giant beam of light coming through the water, like, almost as if, like, someone was holding a flashlight. And you could see me, like, I'm trying to hold back my tears, but, like, I'm telling you, like, it's freaking crazy. Like, there was just, like, this light coming through the water, and it was so bright and vibrant, and just, like, bam, like, you know. And keeping in mind, like, this is me turning my body completely around to see this light after I couldn't even move my body to, like, punch my way through the ice. Not only that, this light isn't even, like, right next to me. It's, like, probably, like, you know, a good, like, I don't know, like, couple of feet away. And, like, I seriously just, like, thought to myself, like, today, like, how did I even get there? I don't even remember swimming over there. I just, like, felt pushed, felt, like, just driven there. I don't remember moving my arms, I don't remember swimming, I don't even remember the light fading. I just remember seeing the light and then coming underneath the hole I fell in. And, like, I don't even remember it fading. It just happened. And it, like, I don't even remember. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I just came up, and it took, like, you know, I could see the cloudy sky, I could see the water moving, I could see the hole, and, like, I came up, and I, like, put my arms on the ice, and I took, like, a big deep breath, and all my friends, well, my friends and my brother's friends, though, right, because everyone's my friend, and my brother's standing there, and my brother to this day said I look like, I don't know what he always says, like a dead guy or something coming out of the water or something, I don't know. He said I was so white, and, like, I don't even remember, like how I got there, like I said, but I just tried to pull myself up, and I couldn't, and I just sort of just hung on to the side of the ice, and I'm so lucky it didn't continue to break or anything. Like, I just feel like to this day there was an angel or a guardian there with me, because, like, even after I came up, like, I feel like to this day I was pushed underneath me up on the ice, because I didn't drag myself up, and no one helped me up. And then, you know, my brothers came over, and, well, my brother and his friends came and helped me up, and they took me home, and, you know, that day I was really, really shown a perspective on life that I'll never forget, and that's just, like, life is so precious, and, like, in the most dire moments, sometimes the simplest thing can make all the difference. look behind you. Just love those around you. Those two simple things, I think, just stand out to me like no other. And I went home and like I was completely fine the next day. Like completely fine. Went to the doctors and just, was completely fine. Actually, I think I went to the hospital. But I met my doctor there. Anyways, I saw my doctor. But, yeah, she was amazed. I was amazed. And, like, even to this day, I clearly just remember that simple command of just, dude, look behind you. Just look behind you. And I think to this day, if I don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have looked behind me. And so yeah, that's my reason. One of the strongest reasons why I have as strong as faith I have today, because I'm here today because of the grace of God, in my opinion. And in a world that needs people to be loving and caring, I will take all the love and care I can get. And when I asked for life, that is what I got, because I'm here today to tell you guys about it. And I promise you, through the next few JP specials, I will share like just a bunch of stuff with you guys, and everything from, I don't know, my faith to like the sports I played and the groups I jammed with, and my brothers and sisters, and just myself in general. And, maybe even get some people on here and just have some silly stories times, because I think this is what the JP special is all about, is just having a chance to just speak with you guys, with anybody that wants to listen, essentially, with the one viewer probably. But anyways, it's all good. No one likes my show anyways. We're just a joke here on the Broader Perspective show. The beatboxes should be called the Joe Box. I don't know. Anyways, I got 7 minutes left. I should be sleeping, straight up. It's like really, really late here. Yeah, it's okay though. It's for the I don't know where it's going with that. It's for you guys, essentially. It was worth it. By the way, if you guys are wondering what K.U.T.A. stands for, it's Keep Up the Awesome. K.U.T.A. Keep Up the Awesome. And the reason why I tell you that now, because if you're actually still listening, you've been here for 38 minutes and 46 seconds, just saying. And to you, my friends, I say keep up the awesome. And thanks for listening, straight up. And I promise you, if you're a little bored now, I'll share some more interesting stories. And then no, that one's not interesting. That one's very interesting, actually. But I just feel like I'm just so sleepy. Just want to go to bed. I just want this 5 minutes and 47 seconds to be up. But I'm going to stretch it out to the very, very end and grind it out like a champion, because that's what I am. And honestly, I just I have a friend on my mind. I want to keep that person's identity private, but my friend needs prayer, and I would ask that anyone that has faith or believes in the power of prayer to pray for her. And Yeah. So, and honestly, keep up the awesome, everyone. What can you do to spread some love and spread some joy? That's my question. The other day, yesterday actually, I was riding on the Sky Train, which is like just an elevated train that runs in our region, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, just because I like trains, that's why I think it's cool. But anywho, there was this lady, and they're working on like a few stations and like doing like a lot of new upgrades, and they're building a whole new line. People that are maybe listening that are in Vancouver, you know what I'm talking about. They're building the Evergreen line there, and at a station called Main Station, they're doing a lot of upgrades there. So they have this new train that's like instead of a 4-car train, it's a 2-car train, and they're basically calling it Train to Main, and Train to Main line, and it only runs on like a few of the routes in downtown Vancouver, or a few of the stations, and stops at Main because of the construction there. So anyways, what I'm trying to get at, there's been a lot of chaos, and a lot of people are like, oh man, like what? Like, you can see it in people. They're not used to this, and it's if you use your brain a little and just listen and look around, there's a lot of signs and things that make it pretty obvious, but yet they even have people out there with megaphones and loud voices saying, like, if you're going to Main Street Station, you gotta get on a special train. Make sure you get on the train that actually stops at Main Street, because the 4 to 6-car trains can't stop there because the station isn't long enough anymore because the construction they're doing. So they have a 2-car train that stops there. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. It's really weird, I know. And trust me, everyone here probably knows that too. So, this poor woman with this megaphone, she's like answering so many questions. She's using her megaphone. She's like, if you're going to Maine, make sure to jump on the Maine, or, Train to Maine train. And, she, you could just tell she, she was just, doing her job. And I just felt like I wanted to just, encourage her, and just, so I simply said, hey, you, keep up the awesome, right? What a simple thing to say to someone. And, like, she just looks at me, and she's like, honestly, thanks, like, thank you. And she was just like, she even, like, I got on the train that I was waiting for, and she, like, popped her head in there quickly, and she's like, she was just like, thank you, like, seriously. And I was like, yeah, no worries. Like, and she's like, for every one of you, there's 1,000 people that just, or so I guess she was getting at, like just negative people or whatever. And I believe if you want to use that phrase, do it. Keep up the awesome. Say it to everyone. K.U.T.A. Keep up the awesome. And I got 1 minute and 22 seconds left. And to you, my friends, I say keep up the awesome. And I'll be back with another JP special, episode dos. Maybe I'll Google a weird language for number 2. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways. On that note, friends, I love you all. And my family, I love you. I love all of you. And thank you for listening, for those that are listening. And thank you for continuing listening to those that have been listening to all of our shows. And I just want to seriously thank Spreaker for giving us the chance to broadcast and just do things like we're able to do on the beatbox. And so yeah, you know what, everyone, keep up the awesome. 25 seconds to go. And on that note, I'm going to say have a wonderful night and a gloriously, wonderfully, terrific, fantastically, sensational, glorious day tomorrow. And honestly, I love all y'all. So, good night. Peace.